I don't think we have a purpose. As humans, we're not born with a purpose, you know what I'm saying? Dude, this like atmosphere is making me look really mysterious. Hold on. We are not born with purpose. Okay, chill. Nah, but seriously, like, okay. I don't want to sound like naive, or I don't want to sound like I'm the only person who's like thought of this, because I feel like when I make these kind of videos, I feel like I sound like that. I feel like I sound really naive. Like, I know I'm not the first person to kind of think about this and talk about this, but I feel like I want to share my opinions and my views on it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't think we're really born with any purpose in life, and some people can take that in a bad way, but I feel like a lot of people can also take that in a good way. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's not something bad. You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't have any purpose doesn't mean you shouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not born with purpose, right? You make your own purpose. As you kind of like go through life and you kind of, explore and experience and meet new people and just all that, you get purpose. For example, I think that if I had kids, if I had, a family, girlfriend, wife, children, that's a really good purpose. Then your purpose is, to care for your children and to care for your family and your wife, all that. Then you have your purpose. But that's maybe the easiest way to find any purpose, you know what I'm saying? Or I feel like it's been like that for a lot of, like, through centuries. The whole purpose of life is to like reproduce and, make a family. And like, I totally agree with that. Because when you first like start getting a girlfriend and a family, and getting into all this like family business, it is your responsibility and it is your purpose to kind of like make sure that your children have a good uprising and all that. But I think in this day and age, getting a family and getting, you know, a wife and getting married at 20 isn't really the purpose of life anymore. Aren't we like kind of being overpopulated as humans? We're like 8 billion people on this planet. That's hella fucking people. Wait, I'm gonna change the angle. Yeah, I fuck with this more. Because I was getting blinded by the light. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, you make your own purpose. And, for some people, that's really hard because how the fuck do you, like, how do you do that? How do you just, you know, get purpose in life? Well, I would say I have no purpose. I was about to say I have purpose, but I don't think I really do. I don't really, contribute anything to the world. But I don't think that's a bad thing still, because, I have stuff I'm passionate about. I have hobbies. I'm really into making music, and that's something I want to like continue doing because it's something I like. And videos like these, for example, I really like doing videos like this. So yeah, at this like moment, I don't really feel like I have any purpose, but I don't feel like that means, you know, there's no reason for me to, exist. You guys get what I'm saying? I don't think you need purpose to live. I don't think you need to, have something going for you to keep going. Was that bars right now? Was that bars? I think it was. But yeah, because I feel like a lot of people really think that family and like getting married by the age of 20 is like what life is all about, and reproducing, and getting more and more people on this planet and continuing your legacy. But I feel like we're moving into a time where a lot of stuff is gonna be different. I feel like the future is gonna be like, no shit, but like the future is gonna be insanely different than from what it is now. Because I feel like, more and more people will kind of, how do I say this? Like, more and more people would kind of not have a purpose. So that means they can do whatever. And I mean that in like a good way. I feel like I'm not making any sense, but I had a point and then I forgot my point. I said that I didn't have any purpose, but that's really a lie. I do have a purpose. And it is to live, you know. My purpose is to live life and, experience and explore and meet new people. And I've lately like been on a path where I'm is this your card? Sorry. I've lately been on a path where I'm I want to get more social, and I want to, actually get to meet new people and, explore in life. And I thought I would never, get to this point because I used to be very, like, very, very introverted and very antisocial. And I don't know where that really stemmed from because when I was a kid, I would always want to hang out with people and I would always, you know, try and make friends with everyone. And I would always, so at some point in my life, I became more pushed away from that and I became more antisocial, I guess. But one of the biggest compliments I've gotten was, this is something that stuck with me for a long time, has stuck with me. My friend in like eighth grade, she told me that every time I walk in a room, that room lights up. And I was like, yo, that is freaking awesome. Like, that's such a compliment. And that has like stuck with me all the way until now. And now I'm in, I guess you would call it 13th grade because I'm like a first year apprentice in this thingy. But that has stuck with me like all the way until now. And, I want to strive to be that. I want to strive to be better. I'm a people pleaser. I've realized that I definitely do like pleasing people and like making them happy, getting out of my way to kind of like give someone something for them to like have a reaction and be like, "Yo, that's awesome." I like seeing people happy because I'm a people pleaser and I guess I seek validation, you know what I'm saying? I haven't really thought about this like a lot, but I feel like I definitely do. I definitely do want people to like me, and maybe that's where I went wrong. Maybe that's like I really wanted people to like me, so I stopped socializing because then no people couldn't like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just yapping. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but that makes a little bit of sense. But yeah, find your purpose. Doesn't matter what it is. Your purpose could be a hobby. Your purpose could be, playing guitar and shit like that. That's kind of like what I have. Also, I recommend this book. It goes very hard. It's about Norse mythology. I haven't read that much, so I'm like talking like I know all about the book, but I don't. I'm on page like 50. But it's pretty interesting to be honest, because I've like this sounds dumb, but I've watched Marvel movies, and that's the like the Rainbow Bridge Thor walks on, and he talks to the guy in like one of the movies. Dude, I know the names. I just read the book, but I forgot. The Rainbow Bridge has like a specific name, and then the guy with the horn also has a specific. I don't know. There's a lot of names that come up, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to make a video because I feel like I haven't made one in a while. And I felt like yapping. But strive to be the best version of yourself. I am so serious when I say that. And I'm so serious when I say take care of yourself. I was gonna say something different, but then I realized that won't make any sense. But definitely take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Peace, guys.